Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, I will use these other translations for subtitles purpose only. Okay. Now, this is contents of the bodyguards, verse 1 until verse 17. So I'm going to just read on. Now it says, Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia, which is the Medo-Persian Empire, the Medes and the Persians. Medes are Japhetic people, by the way. And to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia. This shows you that these are the Persians, which I just showed you in the last video, the video before this one. Of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken, and being satisfied, were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchambers and slept, and soon after awakened. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, Let every one of us speak a sentence, that he shall overcome. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the other. Unto him shall the king, Darius, give great gifts, and great things in token of victory, as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and the chariot with bridles of gold, britless of gold, and an head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. They really wanted to have a status, these bodyguards. And then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius his pillow, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings. And of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest, to him shall the victory be given, as was appointed. The first wrote, Wine is the strongest. The second wrote, The king is the strongest. The third wrote, Women are strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. And so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers, and set him down in the royal seat of judgment. And the writings were read before them. And he said, Call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences, meaning they will explain their sentence, their letters. So they were called and came in. And he said unto them, Declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine. Now, this is actually in verse 17 until verse 24. I'm not going to read this because this is a whole different translation. And it's very tricky because in the book of Judith, where it says she braided her hair, right? And then, wait, I'll show you. Judith braided her hair. Wait, I'll show you. Because they trick you. That's why these other translations, you shouldn't really mess with them. You could use it, but don't get it twisted. What am I looking for? Yeah. Here. braided her hair. Okay, check this out. Judah chapter 10, verse 3. And pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garment of her widowhood. Yeah, so back in the days, you had special type of clothing that would show you that, okay, that's a widow. And you had also clothing that would show you that, okay, that's a harlot. Her. Tamar. Verse Tamar. Check this out. Genesis chapter 38, verse 14. And she put her widow's garment off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. I think it's the second verse. The verse after this. Okay, check this out. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. So you have harlot clothing. When you look at a female, you would see, okay, this is a widow because she has widow's clothing on. And this is a virgin because she has virgin clothing on. And this is a harlot because she's dressed like a hooker. So nowadays, when you see a female dressed like this, and hot pants. If you was to see this back in the days, you would think this to be a harlot. This is a fucking male. This one is a goddamn male. Fucking faggot. But anyway, if you was to see a female dressed like this, you know that, okay, so she wants money. That's what's up. Money for sex. You pay females like this for sex. You know? You pay them for sex. Because this is what they're worth. A fuck. This is whole clothing, a whore attire. You know, dressed like a hoe, as they would say. So yeah, going on. Yeah, so Jude, the book of Judith, chapter 10, verse 3. Right, going on. But of her widowhood. And washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided the hair of her head, and put on attire upon it, and put on her garments of gladness. You see, she had the clothing. Clothing represent how you, you know, who you are and what you look like. For example, it says here, a man's attire showeth who he is. Sirach, the book of Sirach. Where can I get it real quick? Okay, Ecclesiasticus. Sirach, what? 19 and the last. I got it here. Now it says Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance, when thou meetest him. That's not what I'm looking for, but this is good also. I wasn't looking for that actually. But it's a good one. Well, let me get that. Here. The book of Sirach. Oh, it was the second. It was the chapter. I mean, the verse after that. It's the verse after that, by the way. I didn't even pay attention. The book of Sirach, chapter 19. Ecclesiasticus, the son of Sirach. The Sirach wrote this. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 30. A man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. The gait is talking about the way that you walk. A person's manner of walking. If you switch twitching and walking like you're floating, right? It's a sure case that you're a sodomite. You know, the people that float while they're walking, you know, um, the way a gay walks, okay, you can see that. You can see that these two are sodomites. You can just see it. You can just look at them and be like, man, you a sodomite, man. The way that they walk, right? And also the way that they dress. Attire. Attire means clothing, by the way. Attire, clothes, especially fine or formal ones. So when it says a man's attire, meaning a man's clothing, and excessive laughter, bitches laugh like hoes, right? And gait, the way you walk, show what he is. So if you look at a person and you be like, yo, this nigga walking, it's walking weird still, man, right? And then you have the gangster walk. I'm not saying because Esau is the biggest gangster of us all, but you know the devil. But the thing is, you can. This is funny. You can. Esau be making jokes of you, Jakes, man. It's funny as hell. But anyway, you can look at a person and know what he is. You know, sometimes, a lot of times actually, you can look at their clothing, and then you can see like, yo, you're this type, or you're that type. You know, Nate Dogg gangster walk. I just saw Nate Dogg, by the way, here. You know, you can see in yourself like this nigga pimp, nigga pimped up. You know, you can see what type of person these people are by their clothing. So if you see people walking around like this, you could just it's hella funny. Whatever. You could just know what type of people they are by looking at their clothing. But going back to over here, wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh her husband. Yeah, so she put on the garment of gladness um, of the time that her husband was alive, right? Now check out this word. This is what I'm trying to say. This is my point. It says that she put on the garment. I mean, she was braiding her hair. So that would show you like, listen, Edomites don't braid their hair. Braid hair. They will make you think like they're braiding their hair, but these are not braids. These are braids, but who was braiding their hair? The so-called black females, man. They're the ones that braid their hair. I mean, I wanted to cuss, but I mean real hair, like real hair. Not the. This is all fake. Real hair. This is all fake. Mm, okay, this one. Okay, this real. Um, okay, this is fake. You can see it's fake. Fuck you, fake. Your eyebrows is fake. You're fake. Fake news. That devil. What is it? Donald Trump. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. So she was braiding hair. Edomites don't braid their hair, especially not in those days. So this is what I'm trying. This is what I'm going to show you right now. Is that they're liars. They. That's why I don't mess around too much with the different translations. Whereas it's Judith, the book of Judith. Judith chapter what? Chapter what? Chapter is it again? Chapter 10? Chapter 10? Chapter 10 verse 3. Now check this out. Okay, chapter 10 verse 3. Judith chapter 10 verse 3. She took off the funeral clothing she had been wearing and removed her widow's garment. Then she washed her body with water, put on some expensive perfume, combed her hair. Yeah, tied a headband around her head. And so it says here she combed her hair. Meanwhile, it says here she braided her hair. Where did I get it, man? Here, she braided her hair. But in the other one, it goes even further, which says I'll show you. What translation? GNT. She brushed her hair. So this shows you like she brushed her hair. And who is the ones that brush their hair? Brush your hair. If you brush your hair, that means your hair is straight. Because you cannot brush my hair, man. My hair is woolly. You cannot brush my hair. Okay? If I was to brush my hair, it would turn kind of straight. These people don't brush their hair because if you brush your hair, it will turn straight. You can't brush your hair. You need to braid your hair or comb your hair. We comb, they brush. Okay? See, this is combing your hair. We don't brush. As if you brush, it will turn straight, kind of. That's why niggas in the back of their head, bitch ass niggas, in the back of their head, and they brush their hair, and what they do is they brush their hair because they want to get those little, they call it nappy, but they want to get it out there. They want to get it away from their hair. You know what I'm saying? So they brush it until until it turns straight. But then, yeah, that's what's up. They brush the back of their hair here. That's what they do. But just to show you that these translations they change. They changed. That's why I don't mess around with the translations too much. But I'm gonna just use this for example of. I'm gonna just use this for titles and stuff like that. So yeah. So in verse 17, yeah, titled "Wine" on superiority of wine. Going on 18. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong wine is. It causeth all men to err that drink. Err means error. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one. Yeah, because everybody gonna get drunk. All of them, all the same. Of the bondman and of the freeman, of the poor man and the rich. It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth. Jolly giant, jolly is happy, and mirth is also happy. So that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor debt. Yeah, it will make you forget your troubles. And it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor. And it maketh to speak all things by talents. Right? And when they are in their cups, when you're drunk, they forget their love both to friends and brethren. Why? Because when you really drunk, it doesn't matter if you're a friend or brethren. You could just get into a fight with them because you're high. That's why you should not rebuke a man at the wine. It says it right here, Sirach chapter 31. 31? Sirach chapter 31. Sirach chapter 31, verse. I'll start at 27. Wine is as good as life to a man, but if it be drunk moderately. If it be drunk moderately. What life is then to a man that is without wine? For it was made to make men glad. Wine measurably drunk and in season, meaning there's a right time to drink wine. Not early in the morning or whatever. But anyway. When wine measurably drunk in season bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling. Brawling is fighting, and quarreling is fighting with the mouth. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend. It diminisheth strength and maketh wounds. Yeah, because a lot of people, when they drink wine, all of a sudden they stumbling and stuff like that. And if you was to knock them, they would get knocked the hell out. But they really trying to pick fights. They can't even stand still. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine. Yeah, don't rebuke him while he's high of that wine. Leave him. Catch him when he's sober. Just like how Gabriel or Gabriela was talking to Laban. Nee, it wasn't Laban. It was Habul. No. Nabal. Salake, Nabal. If you read 1 Samuel chapter 25. Oh, Abigail. It wasn't Gabriela. Salake about that. Yeah, if you read 1 Samuel chapter 25, you're going to know what I'm talking about. What you need to do is talk to them when they're sober. Don't talk to them when they're high off of that wine. Leave them when they're sober, then you catch them. Right? So, rebuke not thy neighbor. Hey, what the? Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Meaning, don't hate him when, you know, he feeling nice right now. Leave him alone. Give him no despiteful words. Yeah, when he drunk, don't say stupid shit to him because he's gonna get very angry. Very, very angry. And press not upon him with urging him to drink. Yeah. Don't press upon him. You know. For example, if he was supposed to give you money, don't press upon him also, and don't be urging him to drink even more. But especially don't press upon him something that is kind of grievous. For example, in his mirth, uh, you use despiteful words, or you tell him like, "Yo, you drinking right now, right? So what about that money that you owed me? Since 3 weeks ago. What about that? Don't do that. When a person is drunk, don't do that. you know. So yeah, going on. Right. So First Esdras chapter 2, verse 21, and it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembered neither king nor governor. So yeah, when you're drunk, it doesn't matter. You can come up. You. That's why drunk people they tend to. It doesn't matter if you're like one of the biggest, like for example Mike Tyson. When a person is drunk, he actually think he can fight Mike Tyson in his prime time. When Mike Tyson was like 19 or 20 years old, a drunk person would just try to walk up to him trying to fight. But that same person, if that same person was like sober, he would not try to fight. It doesn't matter who you are to a drunkard. Whether you're a king or a governor, it doesn't matter. They don't care, right? And it maketh to speak all things by talents, right? And when they are in their cups, when they're high as shit, basically, they forget their love both to friends and brethren. And a little after, draw out swords. That's what they do. Why? Because now they're on a fighting tip. Drunkenness increases the rage of a fool till he offend. It diminishes strength and maketh wounds. This is real, by the way. This is very real. I was just reflecting on myself. Yeah. You shouldn't be drunk talking to females or men that that offended you or whatever. Because if you're drunk and you go to that person, it's going to be crawl, quarreling, and possibly, so yeah. But then you're gonna start fighting sometimes, or fighting with the mouth going on. It says, and a little after, draw out swords, even towards your friends or your brethren. But when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done. O ye men, is not wine the strongest that enforceth to do thus? And when he had spoken so, he held his peace. So he explained it, and then that was up. That was it. So yeah, this is very true. It's a very wise thing. It's very wise. So you should take heed to you know on, drinking wine. Take heed to you know watch out for wine and strong drink and beer, whatever. So yeah. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom, which means peace.